Hello students, from this video we are starting part 2 of data structure subject, in which we will study array, which is a linear data structure. What is the definition of array? Array is defined as a collection of similar type elements. In array we can store elements which are of same type. That means, as you can see, this is an array which consists of 5 integer numbers. So this is an integer array. We can also create array or collection of real numbers. So that array is called as float array or real array. We can also create array of characters, that is called as character array, or we can say it is in string, because collection of characters like hello is a character array or is a string because it is a collection of characters. So array is defined as a collection of similar type elements. All elements may be of type integer, may be of type float, may be of type character. So let's see why array concept was introduced, why arrays are used. Without array we can also create elements of same type. Then what is the requirement of array? If we are not using array to create same type of elements, then what we have to do? We have to create variables like this. Example, I want to create 3 integer variables because I am talking about elements of same type. So here I am creating 3 integer variables. First is A, second is B, and third is C. Here 2 bytes of memory will be allocated to A variable and 2 bytes memory will be allocated to B variable and also to C variable. Suppose the start address of A variable is 100, B variable is 200 and C variable is 211. The memory allocated to these variable is non-contiguous. Where compiler will get the memory of 2 bytes, it will allocate that memory to these variables. You can store or access integer type value in these variables. Here we create 3 variables of type integer A, B, C. Now I want to create 5 variables of type integer. Then I have to write like this: int a1, a2, a3, a4, a5. I can also write it like a, b, c, d, e. Now try to create 100 variables of type integer. We are creating same type of variables, so I want to create 100 variables of type integer. Then what you have to write? Int a1, a2, a3, a4, a5 up to a100. You can write it, but it is time consuming process. Suppose you want to create 1000 variables of type integer, then you have to create explicitly 1000 variables. So this is a time consuming process. Easy method is use array. If I want to create an integer array of 100 variables, then I have to write int, then name of array A. Then in square bracket you have to mention the size of the array. That means how many elements you want to create using array. This is semicolon. By using this declaration, you can easily create 100 variables of type integer. If you want to create 50 variables of type float, then you have to write like this. If you want to create 20 variables of type character, then you have to mention 20 in square brackets to represent size of array. So I think you know why we are using array. We can say that array is a shortcut method to create similar type variables. Now next is types of array. There are 3 types of array. First is one dimensional array, in which the size of array is represented in one square bracket. Two dimensional array or two dimensional array is also called as matrix. In two dimensional array we have to specify 2 dimensions, 2 values inside 2 square brackets. First represent number of rows and second represent number of columns. So as we know, in matrix there are number of rows and there are number of columns. Similarly, in two dimensional array, first value represent number of rows and second represent number of columns. We can also say that two dimensional array is a multi-dimensional array. When the dimension is 2 or more, then that array is called as multi-dimensional array. So 2 dimensional is also a multi-dimensional array, 3 dimensional array is also called as multi-dimensional array, and 4 dimensional array is also called as multi-dimensional array. Similarly, you can create any number of dimensions in array. Here you can see that in 3 dimensional array I have specified 3 dimensions, 3 values in 3 square brackets, and in 4 dimensional I specified 4 values in 4 square brackets. So to explain the properties of array, here I am taking one dimensional array. That means we are first studying one dimensional array. The syntax for declaring array in C or C++ is, first we have to write data type, then name of array, in a square brackets we have to specify size of array. Size of array should be a constant. Here you have to write a constant like 100, 500, any number, but you cannot write a variable. So here the size of array should be a constant. For example, if you want to create a integer array of size 10, then you have to write int. First we have to write data type, that is integer, then name of array is a, and in a square bracket size of array is 10. So 10 number of variables will be created by compiler inside the memory. To create 20 variables of type float, we have to write float b20. You can give any name of array. I had used b. For creating character array of 30 variables, we have to write character C30. Next, for array initialization in C, C++ is, first we have to write the data type, then name of array, open and closing square bracket. Here no need to specify the size of array, then equals to, in curly bracket you have to specify the values which you want to initially store in array. For example, if I want to create an integer array of 5 values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I have to write int a, open and closing square bracket, and in curly brackets I have write these values. Here you can see we had not written the size of array. So how compiler will allocate 10 bytes of memory to this array? By counting these numbers, as there are 5 numbers and each are of type integer, so 5 into 2 will be 10. So 10 bytes will be allocated to this array by the compiler at compile time. Here there is no need to write the size of array 5. This is optional. You can write 5 or you cannot write. In both cases, compiler will allocate 10 bytes of memory to this array. So here the array is initialized with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 instead of garbage value. Here when you create array like this, the garbage values will be stored in array, and we have to take input from the user by using program to store values inside the array. The properties of array. First property of array is contiguous memory allocation. Here the memory allocated to variable is contiguous. When we had created 3 variables without using array, the memory allocated to variables is non-contiguous. Here you can see address of A is 100, address of B is 200, address of C is 211. But in array, the memory allocated to variables is contiguous. That means if we are creating an array of 5 variables, in this case a contiguous memory will be allocated to all the variables. For example, if the starting address of first variable is 100, then the starting address of second variable will be 102. Why 102? As we know that the integer variables require 2 bytes of memory to store integer number. If this is a float array, then 4 bytes of memory will be allocated to one variable. So in case of float it will be 104. There will be a difference of 4. Here as it is a integer array, then the gap of 2 bytes. If the address of first element is 100, then second will have address 102, third variable will have address 104, fourth will have 106, and fifth will have 108. As the array contains 5 variables, then what is the name of variable? You can see all the elements have a name A, but they are different by their index number. The number which is specified in a square bracket is a index number. In array, first variable is A0, second variable name is A1, third is A2, fourth is A3, and fifth is A4. In C, C++, the index of array starts from 0. So the index of last element will be size of array minus 1. As the size of this array is 5, so the index of last element will be 4. So in array, there is a contiguous memory allocation. Suppose I want to create array of float type, that means real type, to store 10 numbers, then I have to write like this: float b10. In this case, the first variable is b0, second will be b1, third will be b2 and last will be b9. Suppose the starting address of first variable b0 is 100, then the starting address of second variable will be 104, then 108, like this. There will be a gap of 4 bytes, as we know that in C++ float variables require 4 bytes of memory. Second property of array is index of first element is equals to 0 in C++. So the index of last element will be size of array minus 1. If the size of array is 5, then the index of last element will be 5 minus 1, that means 4. And the memory allocated to array equals to size of array into size of data type. So how many bytes of memory will be allocated to array? If the array is of type integer and having size 5, then 5 into 2. 5 is the size of array, 2 is the number of bytes required to store the integer variable. So it will become 10 bytes. So 10 bytes of memory will be allocated to this array. So the formula is size of array into size of data type. In C++, integer requires 2 bytes of memory, float requires 4 bytes of memory and character require 1 byte of memory, where 1 byte equals to 8 bits. So what will be the memory allocated to this float array? Size of array is 10 into size of data type is 4 bytes, equals to 40 bytes. So 40 bytes of memory will be allocated to this float array. That's all for this video. Now in next video we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages of array. Thank you.